Harivam students, welcome to the online biology class. Today we are going to start chapter 2, Nutrition in Animals. In chapter 1 we have discussed about what is meant by nutrition, how many types of nutrition are there we have seen. What is meant by nutrition? Nutrition means intake of food and utilization of that food in the body is called nutrition. What is nutrition? Intake of food and utilization of that food inside the body is called nutrition. You know that plants prepare their own food through the process of photosynthesis. What do we call that type of nutrition? That is autotrophic nutrition. All green plants derive nutrition through autotrophic type of nutrition. And I told you that all other organisms, non-green plants and all other animals derive their nutrition through heterotrophic nutrition. What is meant by heterotrophic nutrition? The animals which depend on other organisms for their food, for their nutrition, that type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. What is meant by heterotrophic nutrition? The nutrition in which animals depend on other organisms for their food. For example, if you see some type of animals like herbivores, they derive their nutrition, they get their food from plants. In the same way, if you see carnivores, they get their food from other organisms. They depend on the flesh of other organisms. They are called carnivores. If you see some type of organisms, they eat both types of plants and animal products. That type of organisms are called omnivores. Whatever it may be, that type of nutrition in which the organisms depend on other organisms for their food, that type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Today we are going to discuss about how does human being derive their nutrition through this type of heterotrophic nutrition. Even it is autotrophic or heterotrophic. The organisms get energy from the food. That's why only they depend on food. Why do we need energy? Already we have discussed this one earlier in the previous class. We get energy from food and this energy is very useful for us to grow and also to carry out so many life processes inside our body. Is it right? Yes. And next important topic, different type of organisms use different types of feeding habits. That means, for example, if you see human beings, in us, we chew our food. After we intake the food, by using our hands, we put the food inside our mouth. We chew that one. This is called chewing type of feeding. Let us see some more type of examples which different organisms use different type of feeding habits. Look at this slide. Human beings use chewing type of feeding. That means the mode of feeding in human beings is chewing. Like that, if you observe in snakes and lizards and frogs, they swallow their food without chewing. They swallow their food directly. In the same way, if you see mosquitoes, you know mosquitoes. Mosquitoes pierce our skin and suck the blood from our body. This is the mode of feeding in mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are insects. What is the mode of feeding in mosquitoes? Piercing and sucking type of feeding. Like that, if you see another insect like house flies. House flies get their food by sponging type of feeding. By sponging type of feeding. They sponge by using their legs and by using their antenna they search for the food and they check that one, and from that food they suck the food material. We can call that type of mode of feeding in houseflies is sponging type of feeding. In the same way, if you observe butterflies and hummingbirds or some more other type of insects, they get their food from the flowers. They suck the nectar of flowers. By using their long proboscis, they suck the nectar from the flowers. This type of mode of feeding is called siphoning. This type of mode of feeding is called siphoning. In the same way, if you observe some aquatic animals like snails, they depend on leaves of plants. They scrap the food material. This type of feeding is called scrapping. Like that, some more type of aquatic animals like small fishes, they filter the tiny other materials which float beside them. Okay, these are the different modes of feeding we observe in different types of organisms. Now let us discuss about what is the mode of nutrition in human beings. How do human beings get energy from the food? Have you ever thought that after we chew and swallow the food, what happened to that food inside our stomach? Yes, it gets digested. Today we are going to discuss about how does digestion take place in human beings. Before going to know how does digestion take place in the human beings, we have to understand what is meant by digestion first. What is meant by digestion? You all know that the food material what we eat that contains so many nutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. These are all the complex substances which are present in the food material. The breakdown of these complex substances into simple substances is called digestion. What is meant by digestion? The breakdown of the complex substances present in the food into simple substances is called digestion. This digestion process occur in one special organ system in the human beings. That separate and special organ system is called digestive system. Look at the picture here. This is the digestive system in human beings. The digestive system in human beings starts with buccal cavity. Buccal cavity is nothing but mouth. The opening which is present here, that is called buccal cavity. The place which is present inside the mouth is called buccal cavity. The digestive system starts from buccal cavity only. And this buccal cavity opens into long tube-like structure which is called esophagus. This is esophagus. This esophagus opens into one bag-like structure, J-shaped organ, one big bag-like structure which is called stomach. Look at the picture here. This bag-like structure, J-shaped bag-like structure is called stomach. And this stomach opens into one long coiled structure, tube-like structure which is called small intestine. In between this stomach and the small intestine, here you can observe the yellow color structure, long coiled tube-like structure is called small intestine. In between this stomach and small intestine, one umbrella shaped structure which is in brownish color. This structure is called liver. It is the largest gland present in the human body. That is liver. It also takes a very vital role in digestion process in human beings. Next one, after small intestine, this small intestine opens into another wider region which is called another tubular structure which is called large intestine. Small intestine opens into large intestine. This is large intestine. And this large intestine opened into one sac-like structure which is rectum, and this rectum opens out of the body through one small aperture which is called anus. Anus. These are the organs involved in the digestive system of human being. What are the organs involved in the digestive system of human being? Buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, liver, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. Can you tell me one more time? The digestive system includes buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, liver, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. It is a long path altogether form alimentary canal. From mouth to anus, this is the long tubular structure. It is one tract. It is one long tubular structure. This is one long path. This is called alimentary canal, or also called digestive tract. This long path is called alimentary canal or digestive tract. Let us discuss about each and every organ in the digestive system and what happened to the food inside that organ. Let us start with mouth, that is buccal cavity. If you observe the mouth, inside the mouth of human beings, we observe two important organs. What are those? One is tongue, second one is tooth. Tongue is one muscular organ. What is the importance of this tongue? Tongue helps us to talk and also to identify the taste of the food. And it is also very important to swallow the food also. Tongue is one muscular organ which is present inside the mouth and which helps us to speak and also to taste the food and to swallow the food also. Look at the picture here. This is the tongue. It is one muscular organ. The main function of the tongue is identifying the taste, because on the tongue surface it contains so many taste buds. Tongue contains so many taste buds. Because of this presence of taste buds only, we identify the taste of the food. Look at this picture here. We identify sweet taste because of the taste buds present at the tip of the tongue. Tip of the tongue. Tip of the tongue contains taste buds which identify the sweet taste. And second taste, sour. See this? The sides of the tongue, the yellow color region on the tongue which represents here, identify the sour taste. And next one, salt. Salt is identified by the edges of the tongue. Edges of the tongue. Salt is also one taste and it is identified by the edges of the tongue. And if you see bitter, bitter is identified at the base of the tongue. At the base of the tongue, where the tongue is attached to the palate. At that area we identify the taste of bitter. These are the main tastes that are identified by the tongue, because tongue contains so many taste buds. Let us see the second important organs inside the mouth. Those are teeth. There are 4 kinds of teeth inside our mouth. What are those? They are incisors, canines, premolars and molars. How many types of teeth are present inside our mouth? 4 types of teeth are present inside our mouth. They are incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Let us know more detailed about teeth. During our lifetime, we come across 2 sets of teeth. Do you know what are those? They are milk teeth and permanent teeth. During our childhood, the first set of teeth grows. At the age between 6 to 8, they fall off. Do you remember that falling off your teeth some years ago? That first set of teeth which grows at infant stage, that means childhood, is called milk teeth. At the age of 6 to 8 years, they fall off and these are replaced by permanent teeth. That is second set of teeth. Milk teeth fall off and they are replaced by permanent teeth. These permanent teeth last throughout the life. There are 32 permanent teeth in our mouth. In the 32 teeth, there are 4 kinds of teeth. Based on the function they perform, the 32 teeth, that means permanent teeth, are categorized into 4 types. First one, incisors. Second one, canines. Third one, premolars. Fourth one, molars. Look at the picture here. Incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Observe the structure here. And if you see the function of each and every type of teeth here, incisors, they help to cut the food. They are also called cutting or biting teeth. Incisors are also called cutting or biting teeth. They are present here at the front of the mouth. Incisors, they help in cut the food. And second type of teeth, canines. They are present just beside the incisors and they are helpful in tearing the food materials. And that's why they are called tearing or piercing teeth. Tearing and piercing teeth. Canines are also called tearing or piercing teeth. Third type of permanent teeth are premolars. They help us to chew the food. That's why they are called chewing teeth. And last important permanent teeth are molars. They help us to grind and crush the food. That's why they are called grinding or crushing teeth. How many types of teeth are there inside our mouth? 4 types of teeth are there inside our mouth. Incisors are cutting teeth. Canines are tearing teeth. Premolars are chewing teeth. Molars are grinding and crushing type of teeth. Based on the function of each and every kind of teeth, teeth are categorized into 4 types: incisors, canines, premolars, molars. This is about teeth. And what is the main function of teeth? They chew the food what we eat. Because of the chewing only, the food gets digested easily inside the mouth. Before we swallow the food, we have to chew the food properly. And inside the mouth, if you see, some amount of mucus substance is released whenever we are chewing the food. That is called saliva. The saliva which is secreted inside our mouth mixes with the food and it makes that food very soft. And also saliva kills the bacteria which is present inside the food. and in the mouth itself some amount of nutrients get digested, like carbohydrates are digested. Some amount of carbohydrates are digested in the mouth only because of chewing. The digestion process starts in the mouth itself. Mouth contains two important organs, tongue and teeth. Tongue helps us to find the tastes and also to swallow the food. Teeth helps us to chew the food properly inside the mouth. After chewing, we swallow the food. That swallowed food passes through one long tube-like structure which is present in our neck region. This long tubular structure is called esophagus. Esophagus is also called food pipe. Through the food pipe only, the swallowed food reaches to the stomach. Because of the movements which are produced in the walls of esophagus, the food is pushed down and it reaches to the bag-like structure that is called stomach. Look at the second picture here. This is stomach. It is a thick muscular organ which is in U-shaped here. After the food reaches to the stomach, immediately the walls of the stomach secrete some digestive juices and one chemical, that is hydrochloric acid, and also along with these two, the walls of the stomach secrete some gelatin substance that is called mucus. After the swallowed food reaches to the stomach, the inner lining of the stomach walls secretes hydrochloric acid, digestive juices and mucus. Immediately these digestive juices act on the food. These digestive juices digest the proteins which are present in the food material. You know that in the mouth some amount of carbohydrates are digested. That partially digested food enters into the stomach and here some amount of digestion takes place. That means proteins are break down into simple forms because of the action of digestive enzymes. And this partially digested food enters into the small intestine which is present next to the stomach. Stomach opens into one long tubular structure which is called stomach. Whenever the food is passed through this tubular structure, I told you here one umbrella like structure is present, that is called liver. This liver secretes bile juice into the small intestine. It secretes some amount of juices. Those are called bile juices. These bile juices mixes with the food whenever this partially digested food enters into the small intestine. Let us know about small intestine. What happened to the food in the small intestine? Small intestine is the long tubular structure which measures about 7.5 meters long. And here in the small intestine only complete digestion takes place. Complete digestion means all the complex substances of nutrients are converted into simple substances. For example, if you see, carbohydrates are complex substances. They are converted into simple substances which are called glucose. Like that, proteins are complex substances present in the food material and they are converted into simple forms like amino acids. Like that, fats are complex substances present in the food and they are converted into simple forms like fatty acids and glycerols. That means complete digestion take place in the small intestine only. After digestion, what happened to that food? In the small intestine only, that digested food gets absorbed by the walls of the small intestine. Absorption of food occurs through finger-like structures present in the walls of the small intestine, which are called villi. Look at the picture here. This is the structure of small intestine. If you observe the inner lining of the small intestine, it contains millions of finger-like projections which are called villi. These villi contains number of blood vessels and capillaries. Capillaries are finest blood vessels. Because of the presence of these capillaries, the villi absorbs the digested food which is present in the small intestine. After digestion, absorption takes place in the small intestine because of the presence of villi. What are villi? Villi are the small finger-like substances which are present in the inner lining of the small intestine. After absorption of the digested food, it reaches to each and every cell of the body. And there in each and every cell, this absorbed food gets assimilated by the cell. Assimilate means it is utilized by the cell. It mixes with the oxygen which we inhale, and each cell get energy from that absorbed food. This is called assimilation, and it is also called utilization of that food by the body. What is nutrition? We have discussed. Intake of food and utilization of that food is called nutrition. Whatever food we intake, that gets digested in the digestive system, and after digestion the food is absorbed by the small intestine and reaches to each and every cell of the body. Inside the cell, what happened to that absorbed food? That gets assimilated by that cell. Assimilation means the digested food mixes with the oxygen inside the cell and energy is released. This is called assimilation. And the food remains in the small intestine which is undigested. That one sends to the another part of the digestive system which is called large intestine. The large intestine is somewhat wider and shorter than small intestine. Look at the picture here. The middle coiled structure is small intestine, and this small intestine opens into shorter, wider, another one more tube-like structure which is large intestine. This is large intestine. It is wider and shorter than the small intestine. It measures about 1.5 meters. But small intestine measures about 7.5 meters, but it is highly coiled. In the case of large intestine, it measures about 1.5 meters. From the small intestine, the undigested food material reaches to the large intestine. And then what happened to that undigested food inside the large intestine? The large intestine absorbs the water and salts from that undigested food. In the undigested food, still some amount of water, still some amount of salts are present. That water and salts are absorbed by the walls of the large intestine, and remaining waste material passes into the rectum. Rectum is the sac-like structure, and this rectum opens out through one small hole-like structure which is called anus. Through the anus, the remaining waste material passes out. This waste material is called fecus. Fecus is removed through anus. Anus is one small aperture through which this waste material is passed out. The sending of the waste material through the anus, this process is called egestion. What is egestion? Sending the waste material, that means fecus, through the anus is called egestion. Now you can understand nutrition is not only intake of food and utilization of that food. in between these two there is a long complex process. In human beings, nutrition is a complex process which involves 5 important steps. They are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. These are the 5 important steps included in the nutrition process. It is a complex process. Ingestion means intake of food. That one happened through the mouth in human beings. And after intake the food, that food is digested. Where does this one happen? Digestion of the food starts in the mouth, partially in the mouth and partially in the stomach, and the food gets digested completely in the small intestine. After digestion, what happened to that food? The digested food is absorbed by the small intestine. This process is called absorption. The small intestine walls contain so many finger-like projections which are called villi. These villi absorb the digested food and sends to each and every cell of the body through the blood. After the absorption of the food, that absorbed food gets assimilated in the cells of the body. What is meant by assimilation? Assimilation means releasing of energy from that absorbed food inside the cell. How does energy release inside the cell? Whenever this food mixes with the oxygen, then energy is released. Where does this one happen? In each and every cell of the body. Assimilation of food takes place in the body cells. And after that, the remaining unwanted, undigested food sends to the large intestine and where the absorption of water and salts take place. And after that, the remaining waste material which is called fecus sends to the rectum, and through that, through a small aperture which is called anus, that waste material is sent out. This process is called egestion. This is the total process of nutrition in human beings. It is a complex process which involves 5 important steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. This is the total process of nutrition which happens in the human beings. I hope you have understood the process of digestion in human beings. Hari Om. Thank you.